Hey everybody, how's it going? Jamie Wagner here again. I'm going to do a video on my experience here with iOS 7 that was released yesterday from Apple, September 18th around 1 p.m. What I did was download it, install it on what you're looking at is an Apple iPad 2. And there are some features, and I'll go over them real quick here, that are missing from the iPad 2. I know the original iPad it's not compatible with, and the iPad 2, there's no AirDrop, Siri, it's camera filters, or square format, or photo app filters. So not everything's compatible on iPad 2. iPad 3rd generation, it's compatible, but there's no AirDrop or camera filters. iPad 4th generation, it is completely compatible with iOS 7, and the iPad mini is completely compatible with iOS 7. So what I did though is I tried to do this over Wi-Fi, and it failed halfway through. So I wanted to see what it would do and how it would turn out, and it showed me something like 16 hours to download, which is, that's crazy. So at that point I just left it go, see what would happen. Well, it ended up failing and coming up with an error message. So I had to connect it directly to the computer with the cord and open iTunes, back everything up, and then I went ahead and downloaded and installed iOS 7 on this Apple iPad 2. So far my experience, it's not been too bad. I just recommend using the cord to do the upgrade. And I guess some people are having some issues on their iPhones, having enough space to actually do it. I think when I downloaded it, it was like a little over a gig. So you want to keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and open these apps up and show you how things may have changed. I haven't had a lot of time to play around with it, so I'm not sure. The layout is actually definitely different. And like I said, I'm gonna walk through all the default apps the best I can here. You can see they have a option in here, Square, that they added in, and you can scroll through that just by swiping in the center of the screen there. So far, opening and closing apps. Go through these quick. Everything seems to be running smooth. The other thing you want to do is go in, after you do it, after you do the update, go ahead and go in and update all your apps, because they've added updates to the apps to make them compatible with iOS 7. So that's one thing I recommend doing. Oh, that's pretty cool. The Game Center. So that's neat right there. Newsstand. Go ahead and click on Store here. So as you can see, I have everything I have here is pretty much standard default average as far as like internet connection and things. So for the most part, I've noticed that it may have slowed down some, but for the most part, it seems to be working well for me. You may want to wait until everyone gets a chance to download it and is able to report all the bugs. That way they'll release like a first update for iOS 7. But if you're like me, I wanted to have it, get it on there. I'm kind of wanting to run into those bugs to see what they are. The more of us that get this downloaded and try everything, you can see there it loads up pretty quick. On Safari looks a little different. And music, of course, they got the new iTunes Radio. Another cool thing I noticed was if you double click your home screen, check it out. It goes to there. That's pretty cool. And all you do to kill your apps running in the background is swipe. And I think that's pretty sweet. I like that. Another thing from what I understand, is the apps are no longer going to have the update like in the corner, like of the app, where it would say like 1, and it would show up red. I don't believe that they're going to have that anymore. I think everything is automatic now. So if I can go ahead and move it, you can see the background, how it moves around. Like, that's neat. So you'll have to play with that. Like I said, a couple of things. Just make sure you back up, before you do the update in case you run into issues. I know there's unofficial ways to downgrade if you run into some issues once you get iOS 7 on there, but they're really not, recommended for normal users unless you're a little more advanced and you want to dig in and do it yourself. But a couple of things with this. I know that iOS 7 is not compatible with the iPad original. This is the iPad 2 that you're looking at, and it is compatible, but it does not include the AirDrop feature, or Siri, or camera filters and square format, or photo app filters. The iPad 3rd generation, it is compatible, but it does not include AirDrop or camera filters. The iPad 4th generation, iOS 7 is completely compatible with that, along with the iPad mini, which it's completely compatible with. So, just a couple of things to think about. Again, basically that's my video. I just want to do the review. I can't really think of anything else. I'm not going to dig into like specs or details. We could take a look at the wallpapers quick. And in here I know they have some new stuff. So there's your dynamic and your stills. And of course I have one of the dynamic backgrounds on running right now. So you have to try this out and go in there and play around with it. I know when I did the download, the file was pretty large. It didn't take all that long, but I really recommend plugging it in, going through your iTunes with the cord. So, I think there's a new update notification center also for running updates. So, but basically that's it. iOS 7 is available to download, and I'd download it and give it a shot. So far, like I said, iPad 2, no issues. Some a few things are missing, but other than that, I recommend it. And thanks for watching my video. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.